Let's go. SleezBall here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be the most ridiculous position to do tiers for this season. This is my tight ends for week 4. Going to take my best shot, but it has not gone well at all for calling tight end stardom, sit-ups, rankings, everything. This position has been so brutal for every content creator, everybody. But I'm going to take my best shot at it right here. This is going to be my top 20 tight ends with the Ballerz at the top, with the top 5 that I think are going to score the highest, and then tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And then I'll throw some sleepers in that you see on the left side in that box over there. And as always, guys, if you like the content, like and subscribe. Help your boy out. It helps a ton. And I will be answering any questions you guys have, trades, dynasty, rosters, lineups, setups, whatever you have. I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. And also, I will be putting out the snap share, routes ran, everything like that on my Twitter on the post with the YouTube video at the same time if you want to check that out too. And let's start balling, baby. Let's dive into it here. So typically, this is the Fantasy Pros Experts ECR ranking from 1 to 10, from Travis Kelce to Hunter Henry in the top row. The bottom row, you see Kyle Pitts to Chigakonkwo. That is their 11 through 20. I'm going to mix it up into my own thoughts this week and take some crazy calls because, Jesus, this position is killing everyone. So here we go. I am not going with Travis Kelce at number 1, nor am I going with TJ Hawkinson, who is the number 1 overall tight end. I am going with the bounce back of Darren Waller. Monday night at home versus Seattle, who is awful on defense all the way around. The Panthers just shredded him for 360 yards with Andy Dalton. I know that Daniel Jones hasn't looked good. This is just my bold call for tight end of the week that Darren Waller finally pops. I mean, he had all the targets. It's just Daniel Jones just missed him by like 5 to 7 yards every throw. He was open on like 14 routes. They do have Saquon Barkley back, which will help. They will try to stack the box to stop him, which should free up Waller more. I am going to take Darren Waller as my number 1 tight end this week. Number 2, we are going to go with Taylor Swift's new boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Who I guess Jersey spiked to 400% the minute she went to the game, which that just blows my mind. He should always be number 1. I'm just taking a bold prediction on saying that it's going to be Darren Waller this week. I mean, Travis Kelce, obviously, even though the Jets are horrible versus the tight end, so he has a great matchup as well. He's always a must start. That's a given. I'm going to put Travis Kelce at 2 this week. My number 3 is going to be Iowa U, TJ Hawkinson, who this guy is literally the only consistent tight end right now at the moment. So through 3 games, he has 40 points, 7 points, 22 points, and 9 points, which is amazing for the tight end position if you think about it. Now gets Carolina. Their defense is absolutely shot. Kirk Cousins is throwing over 300 yards a game. This should be another smash. I don't know about smash with the tight end position, but another decent value tight end play right here with maybe 10 points. If you get 10 points from your tight end, it's massive this year. So TJ Hawkinson at number 3. Number 4 is going to be Mark Andrews. Now, they get the Cleveland defense, and, I mean, last week he had the best matchup versus the defense. He had the number 1 worst defense versus tight end and did nothing with it. He had 5 points. I don't know what is going on in Baltimore with the offense. I know that they're, OBJ is hurt, Bateman is hurt, they lost Dobbins. Todd Monken was supposed to have this offense flying. Hasn't looked the same, but this has to be a Mark Andrews game. Like, he could be tight end 1 as well, too, this week, All these guys are all hitters that could be tight ends 1. But Mark Andrews, I'm going to put at 4. Number 5, we're going to mix it up here all the way. The most impressive rookie tight end I've seen in a long, long time. Of course, they come from Iowa. All of them do. That's a little Iowa U shout out. Sam Laporta with a 20-plus bomb last week. And now he gets Green Bay Thursday night. Still no Jameson Williams. And it looks like teams are teeing off on Amon-Ra a lot more than I thought was going to happen this season. And it's just opened up the floodgates for Sam Laporta. He is an all-around great tight end, run blocking, pass blocking, running routes, catching, everything. It has been an immaculate season. It is crazy. I'm putting a rookie in the top 5 this week. But give me Sam Laporta at number 5. And that rounds out the Ballerz. So I expect these guys to be my top 5 scorers of the week. But with how tight end goes, we'll see. Heading down to number 6, it is going to be Kittle Diddle Diddle down the middle, who came off a big game last week, 11.5 points, half PPR. They do get the Cardinals. I mean, it could be another one of those volume games where, if the Niners get so far ahead, the Kittle's not used that much, which, kind of scares me with him. But with the way that Brock Purdy looks at him, he's always going to be in the top 10 with how this position goes. Give me George Kittle at 6. Number 7. I don't know if this guy is ever going to have a big game yet. It's really starting to trip me out. Dallas Goedert has literally done nothing this year and is super talented at the position. I don't understand. Let me pull his numbers right now. So Dallas Goedert on the season right now, it's crazy that this is experts ranking him top 5, top 6 weekly, and his numbers are shot. So he dropped a 0 goose egg week 1, 6 points week 2, and 5 points week 3. That is a 4-point average on the season, which is no bueno at all. I mean, he's coming in, I believe, at tight end 29. None of that is good signs for Goddard, and they play Washington. I hope he scores early. This, again, this position is so hard to predict. I'm just going based off the name and how good he is to put him at 7. There could be better value plays, but I feel like he finds the end zone for the first time this week. At number 8, Tyler Higbee. Going way off their rankings right here with this one. So Tyler Higbee against the Bengals last night actually had a good game, and they actually had a wide open touchdown that they didn't even cover on that they called back. I don't know what the refs were doing in this game. They called 2 touchdowns backs on the Ram. It seems like they just didn't want the Bengals to go 0-3 in my opinion. But he's a 92+% snap share tight end out there on the field 24/7. And no Cooper Kupp. The volume should be there. They play the Colts. The Colts' strength is the run D. I mean, should be a 7 to 8 point game floor here for Tyler Higbee, which is amazing for the position again. I like Tyler Higbee at number 8. At number 9, the guy that surprised me this season so far, Evan Ingram has been an absolute decent play at tight end all the way. So at the moment, Evan Ingram, I believe, is tight end 5. Okay, he is tight end 5, averaging 8.8 a game, which is amazing for the tight end position. Only 5 points behind TJ Hawkinson's average of 13 to be number 1. So it's very close. They get Atlanta, and I feel like the Jags have to win this game right now. Everyone's already nervous. I'll be really nervous if they don't win this. I feel like Evan Ingram finds the end zone this week. I have him at tight end 9. Number 10, he bounced back on Monday night versus the Raiders, found the end zone after 2 duds. So Pat Freiermuth had a 0, a 1-point game to start. Really, really rough start, especially with Deontay Johnson out. You would think that his targets would go up. I don't know if it was that the Steelers finally played a weak defense in the Raiders because their first 2 weeks were brutal. But Pat Freiermuth has been really, really bad till last week, but he's such a high talent that I'm going to keep him in the top 10. Heading down to number 11, Hunter Henry. Was the tight end 1 for the first 2 weeks. Had a dud week last week, a 2-point week. Now he gets the Cowboys. Another game where I feel like he can see a lot of volume if the Cowboys get up. I feel like the Cowboys just played really bad against the Cardinals, so I think they're going to come out smash mouth football and just hit the Patriots in the mouth. But again, it's the tight end position. Cowboys do have an amazing defense, but they lost Diggs, but that doesn't affect Hunter Henry much. But I mean, I'm going to put him at 11 in a bad matchup just because he should be Mac Jones' go-to target this game. At number 12, the electric Dalton Kincaid. So he is also coming off a 1-point game last week. Now the Bills are playing the Dolphins in a shootout game. This is why I am elevating Dalton Kincaid to a higher ranking this week, because I believe the points will be a lot more, and he's got to start finding this guy. He's lining up everywhere. His snap share is 90%. It's tight end 1 usage. He's not getting the looks. I mean, I know they blew him out of the water, so the game script got kind of bad last week, which, happens every now and then for a player. So I'm going to leave him at 12 in a shootout game. I actually really like him as a streaming option too if you play DFS or whatever. He's very cheap, and a very nice play. At 13, the ever reliable, all these rookies, man. Luke Musgrave, 7.7 points last week. Now he gets Detroit. We do know Christian Watson's back, which may, hurt his target value a little bit. But again, at the rate of the tight end, you take whatever you can get at this point. And I feel like he's going to be like a 4 to 5 catch guy every week, and that's a serviceable tight end right now. So I like Luke Musgrave at 13, Thursday Night Football versus Detroit. Number 14, not doing it. Told yourself you wouldn't do it. Going to go with David Njoku. I had this guy in my top 5 last week. I mean, I know this is another like game script thing right here last week. The Browns got way ahead against the Titans, and the Titans, their defense against the pass is terrible. Should have been an Njoku smash game. It became an Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore game. They saw 17 targets. He saw 5. This against the Ravens defense is also beat up, but it could be a better game script where it's actually close game. So you see more Njoku. I want to see his red zone targets from last year pick up. He was second in red zone targets last year, and it's nothing this year. I don't understand what's going on, but again, it's the tight end position, so I'm leaving him at 14. At 15, Kyle Pitts. Everyone told me that last week against Detroit is Kyle Pitts' time. He's going to pop off and get it done and get 10-plus points. It's a guarantee. Dude, this offense just stinks, man. Their passing game is just terrible. I'm putting him at 15 because they play Jacksonville, who's actually kind of weak versus the tight end and could be a game script where they're behind again. And when they get behind, I mean, they can't use Bijan. They don't use Algier. I mean, Drake London. It's rough to watch, and they're 2-1. It's really rough to watch. They had an easy schedule to start, which helped them. But again, he saw 9 targets versus Detroit, but just didn't get anything out of it. They got to look for a QB next year, in my opinion, or else. I did hear rumors that the Cowboys are trying to trade for Kyle Pitts, though. So watch out because Dak loves tight ends, man. At number 16, speaking of the Cowboys, Jake Ferguson is a great play weekly at this point. 7.2 last week. Seeing mad targets for the volume that he's on the field. The Cowboys, I mean, I feel like, again, New England, they might take away CD. I did say last video that I think CD's going to have one of those big CD games because he's due for one. But Jake Ferguson is always going to see decent volume for a tight end. He's startable weekly. Like, he's anyone from 7 to like 16. All these guys, they're all pretty much averaging within the same range of points. And Jake Ferguson is a safe play to me. At number 18, I'm going to take Gerald Everett off. Completely off. Let me just get rid of his picture. Ding. There we go. Okay. We're at number 17. Hayden Hurst. The matchup is great here. So I know that Andy Dalton just lit up all the receivers last week for the Panthers, and we don't know right now if Bryce Young is going to play at all. It looked like Frank Reich said that he's going to be doubtful, which already tells you early in the week. I mean, it's not official, but it tells you early in the week that he's probably not going to play. They get the Vikings. This is a big pass volume game for all the Panthers right here because the Vikings defense stinks against the pass. And this should be like a great DFS play for Hayden Hurst. I like him at tight end 17 this week. At number 18, Cole Kmet. Again, another guy coming off a dud who had a decent start to the season. He had like 6.6 and 6.2 the first 2 games and then dud last week. They got blown out 40-0 and he still got nothing in garbage time. Justin Fields is making me really nervous, but now they get Denver. The number 1 worst defense in the NFL right now. They just got 70 bombed on by the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins offense is really good, but this should be the game where Justin Fields wakes up. Should be right here. So I'm going to put him at 18 at the moment. Number 19, Chigakonkwo. Oh, man. These Titans, man. Same thing I'm thinking with DeAndre Hopkins when I said it. I was like, this is just DeAndre Hopkins needs to get out. Chigakonkwo doesn't look good. And then my cat's going nuts. Quiet. And so they get Cincinnati. Cincinnati is actually bad versus tight end. Tyler Higbee just had a good game. Binks, I gotta close. Get out. Sorry, my cat just comes in meowing like a crazy person. Oh, again? Ah, there we go. So Chig, I like at 19. He should. I mean, God, they should see volume in this game. I hope him and DeAndre Hopkins wake up. But if not, I mean, I'm probably going to be done with the Titans at this point. Heading over to number 20, who wasn't on anyone's list, but if you know anything about Logan Thomas this season, this guy has seen a massive amount of targets, and he had a touchdown in week 2 early and already had like 7 targets at half that knocked him out. He got crushed, caught the ball. He's older, so the concussion protocol probably took a little longer for him, of course. But the Commanders, they look bad, man. They get the Eagles. The Eagles are bad versus the tight end. And I said that last week with K. Dotton, and K. Dotton, nothing happened. So that was a bad call. But at the way that Sam Howell feeds this guy, it should be a decent game. I probably could have put him, you could mix and match like 16, all these guys, pretty much all the tight ends at this rate. But I like Logan Thomas actually a lot more than most this week. It's just the Eagles might be getting better and healthier. It's so tough at tight end. I'm going to leave him at 20. Heading on to the sleeper range, Dalton Schultz. I do not understand why they paid this guy $9 million. If anyone can explain it to me, let me know. Dalton Schultz's numbers right now are so bad. It's terrible. Game 1 was an absolute dud. Game 2, I think, was 4 points. Game 3 was 1 point. So right now he's literally averaging like 1.7 on the season. That is not $9 million worth of a tight end. But the Texans' offense is getting better. I feel like CJ Stroud is going to start to find him. Like, if he's on your wire, he's such a good talent to just leave out there. But, man, it's tough with how his points are going, so I'm going to leave him at 21. 22. I don't know if any of you know who this picture is of. I'd be surprised if I didn't tell you. Donald Parham Jr. of the Chargers right now is tight end 6 on the season. And you got to consider it that Mike Williams just got hurt. So Donald Parham Jr. had a 10-point week 1 with a touchdown, a 1-point week 2. That's typical for tight ends this year. 13.4-point week 3 with another touchdown, and is averaging 8.1 on the season. I mean, Gerald Everett has been a ghost of himself. He's taking the job from him in a high-powered offense. This should be someone you should be keeping your eye on because this position is killing everyone. And Donald Parham is having a good run right now. And they play the Raiders. And like if you watch my other videos, Justin Herbert kills the Raiders every time. 320-yard average. This could be another Donald Parham smash game here. At 23, Zach, the old man Ertz. Came out the first 2 weeks, I believe, with like 19 targets, which is impressive for Zach Ertz. I think they're like, again, if you've seen any of my other videos, I think they're showcasing him to trade him for a 6th round or 5th round or 7th round or whatever it is to build for next year. But they get the Niners. And this is tough sledding for Zach Ertz. I can see him getting, at least 8 targets, though, like 20 yards, but it's going to be rough with the sleeper calls here. At number 4, Kylen Granson. I said last week that he might be taking the job, and then last week he drops a dud. But again, like I said, that happens with every tight end this year except for like Travis Kelce. So, I mean, I'm going to put Kylen Granson at 24. He does get the Rams, but if you watch Monday night, I mean, Irv Smith didn't even have a catch versus the Rams. So these are like pure dart throws right here. Besides Donald Parham, I like him out of these, but it gets so rough at tight end. And then at 25 is going to be Cade Otton. Man, his usage is the highest in the NFL at snap share, but nothing happened. And now he gets the Saints, who are number 1 versus the tight end, and he had the Eagles last week, who were dead last versus the tight end, and did nothing. He's someone, I mean, maybe you could throw in. At this point, it's ridiculous, but Cade Otton, I like at 25 this week. And that is it for my tight end tier list, guys. This is the toughest position to call, but I am going with the bold call of Darren Waller popping the #1 spot this week. And that is it, guys. If you like the content, as always, like and subscribe. Help your boy out. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. All the support is appreciated. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or thoughts of your own, drop them in there, and I will try and answer them as fast as I can. And I will catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.